Hi guys, welcome back. Hi guys, welcome back. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. I feel like it has been forever since I was here. It's just been so busy. And since the beginning of the year, I have been running around, honestly. And you know, once the holidays are over and January 1st comes, there's a whole slew of things that I have to do so that my life runs smoothly. First being, it's tax season. So I have two tax dates because you have the business that has a tax date and you have your personal, like how you guys all know, that is all due next week. We have a tax date. So the first part of the year is really concentrated in business stuff. On top of that, Grayson's volleyball club season takes a pause. School season starts, which puts me in a whole different cadence because pickup, games, tournaments all take on a different schedule, and it makes it difficult. It's like definitely more in the week versus like on the weekend where club tournaments and stuff usually happens. So that happens. Then we have a 2-week spring break, which we just got back from. And that's a big chunk of like time that either we go on vacation or Grayson does camps or whatever the case is. Like that's a whole other cadence. And then on top of that, I got sick 10 days ago. And I was just coughing and I had congestion and I really couldn't even sit and talk because I had like an upper respiratory. So it's been crazy. So here we are, April, that's, 4 months in. And I feel like this is the first time that I've had a chance to really sit and talk to you guys. I definitely pull my camera out throughout times during the day, but I don't have anybody to send it to. So many people have somebody on the back end where they just send their footage and then they edit it, upload it, whatever, and it's just me, as you guys know. So a lot of times I don't have like the 3-hour block time to be able to cut and paste. So here we are. We are here today. I just got back from Pilates. I did a really easy stretch class, kind of like a stretch and tone. So that was good. I feel like my body needed it. I've been really sore since getting back from vacation, which I did nothing, and then I was sick. So it was nice to get my body moving. Other than that, I've gotten a lot of questions, and they're like random questions, one-off questions. So I think today, the question that I get a lot on the daily is, how do I find my style? How do I help you guys find your style? And, that's a question because I feel like it is an evolving answer, and it depends on your stage of life, and it depends on what you like today. It may change tomorrow. But it's like, how do you find that mainstay? So I'm gonna try to explain it to you guys on how I find my style. And it doesn't mean that I know what I'm gonna wear or buy or put together all the time, because a lot of times I have no idea. But it's more of the rules that I kind of follow for myself that I feel comfortable following. And then from there, it just kind of pieces together. So I will say that when I was young, I was kind of that kid that overdressed. It's like I really liked fashion and I overdressed. If it was summer and I got a great sweater and leggings, it might be 80 degrees, but I'm in a sweater and leggings. So I definitely always had a propensity to want to get dressed. But that doesn't always mean that you're dressed for the proper occasion. So I think the first part of learning what my style was is knowing how to dress accordingly and what my lifestyle is in the moment. What's the weather? What's the event? Where are you going? You know, knowing kind of what the proper attire is helps navigate what you're going to pull off the shelf. Now, if you put that aside, I will say that my personal style, because style is different than fashion. We can all be fashion because we can all buy Zara, Bottega, whatever it is. We can buy anything off the shelf. But that doesn't make us have style. It just means we know how to buy designer. So when it comes to style, where I start is I like simplicity. I like clean lines. I like non-fuss. And if I am feeling fussy or big shoulders or lots of fabric, I don't feel like myself. I am fidgeting. I'm not comfortable. I feel like I'm not grounded. So my foundation to my style is clean lines, non-fussy. That's where I start. So what does that mean? I was born and raised in LA. I'm a California girl. Although that's where I'm from, I am a total New Yorker. When I go to New York City, that is like my place. That is my people. That is my vibe. That is my energy. So I'm always caught between the two of the casual side of California and LA girl with the pull of more elevated, more serious of like the East Coast. So I kind of marry the two because living in California, we have this mild weather all the time where we don't really get dressed. We kind of stick with the same, I think, the same vibe from the time that we get up to the time that we go to bed. Yes, we have moments in there where it's really cold, but you'll notice that most Californians, we don't have the proper wardrobe for rain, for wind. It doesn't snow here. So a lot of times we're running through the streets freezing because we don't have proper coats. So it's really understanding like who you are in your environment. I will say that I have one side that likes the California vibe, vintage denim, sweatshirts, relaxed kind of beach hair. And then at the same time, you know, I'm in black, my hair's pulled back, I'm in a turtleneck or a blazer, which is definitely much more East Coast. Okay, so what does clean line mean? It just means not fussy. Let's take denim for an example. I like vintage denim. I like them wide. I like them skinny. I like them straight. So those are three different proportions of like the vintage denim look that I like. So it doesn't mean that I'm rigid and it's like clean lines means just one straight leg and one straight t-shirt. It just means I'm not wearing too oversized, or I don't have like a lot of fabric hanging from every place. So I just think that when you're trying to find your style, and it does change because we evolve as people. When what I wore, you know, pre being a mom is a little different than I'm wearing post-baby. Not because my style has changed, because my vibe is still the same. Again, it's still the clean lines, but I don't wear heels all that often. My body's a little bit different. Although I'm thinner now probably than what I was pre-baby, it's different. It's proportion different. Some things are a little looser than what they were before, even if I'm smaller now. So it's being a student of fashion that translates into your personal style. And I can't give you a playbook on how to do that because it really is an individual choice and it's an individual process to be able to find what it is that you really love. The number one thing is not to buy because someone else says this is the latest, greatest. Not to fall into, ooh, she looks good in that, so I'm gonna look good in that. I don't think that's always the case. That doesn't mean that we don't get inspiration from people, because I love people watching. I get so much inspiration from people. That's why travel is so great, because you get to see how other people put their style together in different parts of the world. So it doesn't mean that you're not getting inspiration, but you don't have to buy that exact sweatshirt, wear it with the exact pants, and with those same shoes. Everybody's budget's different, everybody's size and proportions are different, so it's all gonna look different on me versus you versus someone else. And I think the number one thing is to be a student of what you find appealing, what kind of cuts you like, what kind of fabric you like. And, I just recently bought a pair of like a black linen-esque pant from Zara. I think it's gonna be really cute for summer. But when they arrived, I opened it and I thought, okay, this is why I don't buy fast fashion. Are they gonna look cute? Yes. Do they fit me? Yes. Am I gonna run around with them? Yes. Are they gonna last more than a few months? No. The fabric isn't good, the cut's not totally classic. So that's why I don't like to buy fast fashion, because I don't like to keep rebuying. And I've said this to you guys before, quality is my number one, textile, is two, and then how it's cut. Those three things are so important when I spend money. So that's it. That's my 2 cents with how to find your style. I'm going to show you what I'm wearing today. I'm going to show you what I'm wearing, if I was going to different places, how I can change it up to fit the place that I'm going. So I'm going to keep the vintage denim that I have on. I'm going to change the shoes and my top, and I'm going to show you kind of how I would wear it to maybe a restaurant, maybe a sporting event, maybe a kid's birthday. All right, so hopefully it helps you guys. Hopefully I can answer your question. But just remember that there is no answer. It's something that keeps evolving, and it really does come from you and from the search of trying to look your best, be your best, and more importantly, be you. Do not let someone else dictate what you should be wearing or should not be wearing. If you feel good in it and it isn't something that's like necessarily of the season, who gives a shit? Like, wear what you look good in and what you feel good in. All right, that's my tutorial today. I hope you guys are all great. I'm very happy to be back. I hope I can find inspiration to keep going. When days are busy and life is busy, it's hard to stay inspired because life just catches up. All right, you guys, take it easy. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you want to see. It makes it a whole lot easier for me. And we'll talk soon. Okay, so what I threw on was an Etern sweatshirt. I'm wearing a very baggy boyfriend jean, and this is like, I'm shooting this video for you, I'm around the house, I need to go grocery shopping, I'm just doing errands. So this is really what I'm comfortable in, and By the way, you guys, this size is a small. You guys were asking me about this sweatshirt. I got a brown one, which is extra small. It is a little bit smaller in the waist and a hair smaller here. So if you like it a little oversized, small is larger, more roomy. Extra small is gonna be a little bit more tapered. So I had a question about that. Okay, so I'm just running around in my everyday kind of clothes. So if I'm gonna go to the grocery store, I'm probably gonna pull out my Chanel flats, which always elevates your look, pulls you together because it is such a classic shoe. Someone else asked me a question if these flats are worth it. 100%. Only though if they are your vibe. So if you're not somebody that likes the Chanel logo, or they're too traditional for you, or they're too common, then I would say no, they're not worth it for you. For me though, it definitely pulls me together, especially because casual. And when you're so casual, when you have a shoe like Chanel, it's gonna elevate you like really fast. So this is what I would just go out and run errands in. If I wanted to wear sneakers, these new Proenza sneakers that I got are really cute. And this is really casual, you know? It just adds a little bit of like a, I don't know, like a casual vibe. Not everybody likes a flat sneaker. So again, what is your vibe? I could pair them up with like a New Balance as well if I wanted to be like a little sporty. That would show up like these. Okay, so the difference, you know, a little bit more sporty vibe and just kind of running out the door. A little bit more fashion vibe, you know, that's a little bit just casual. So it just really depends on who you are. The other thing that would go with these is like the row loafer. So if you wanted a little bit more of like a man's style, you can wear a loafer, which, you know, completely kind of changes the vibe. But I haven't changed anything. So it's kind of knowing how to oscillate with all of your different kind of dimensions that you can then choose to decide what you feel like that day. Okay, so let's stay in the same outfit and we're going to a Lakers game. Now, I would probably switch out my sweatshirt if I was going to a Lakers game, but let's just say that I'm not kind of feeling wanting to get dressed and I want to look kind of cute. So what I would do is I would take a white pump, and then this completely changes the vibe. And then I would take a leather jacket, and I've recently just purchased this from New Hamor. I think that's how you say it. And it completely changes kind of like your vibe. So something that was really casual and kind of like a nothing now changes quite a bit if you throw on some pumps and a leather jacket. So you know what, you guys, it's just playing with proportions. It's playing with what you have. It's finding the line that you like so that you can interchange it whenever you feel like it. I'm gonna give you one more change. Okay, so as a quick change, I added just a plain white shirt. I would either wear it just draped like this, or I would probably do another couple buttons and tuck in the front, which then gives you a little bit more of, you know, a look. But this is a Zara shirt. I think it was like, I don't know, $39. It's funny because even though I love a quality cotton shirt, I've been finding that they tend to be too oversized for me. And Zara seems to make a nice proportion that is oversized, but not like massively huge. So for $39, even if I have to rebuy this a few times because it gets old, it's worth it for me because the cut is better. But you see that keeping the white pumps, the oversized jean, and then just adding in a white button down completely changes it. And then if I wanted to add the jacket back on, it completely changes the look, and you're ready for dinner, you're ready for that sporting event, you know, just out with your husband, your boyfriend, your friends. So that's it, you guys. You know, play around, don't take it so seriously. Fashion is meant to be fun, and especially right now with like all the tariff talk, it's gonna get real expensive. So be mindful about what it is that you want to buy. Do not buy trend. Buy cut, buy fabric, buy style. Don't buy trend, because you'll regret it. All right, you guys, hope this helps. We'll talk soon. Take it easy and enjoy the rest of the week.